The imagination is the living power and prime agent of all human perception. These words, penned by the visionary poet William Wordsworth, capture the essence of our discussion today. What comes to mind when you hear the word imagination? Take a moment to consider this. Is it flights of fancy, daydreams, or perhaps childhood make-believe? While these are indeed aspects of imagination, they barely scratch the surface of its true power. Imagination is not merely a frivolous mental exercise or an escape from reality. It is, in fact, the very cornerstone of our existence, the wellspring from which all creation flows. It is through imagination that humanity has achieved its greatest feats, from the first wheel to the most advanced technologies of our time. Consider the Wright brothers, who dared to imagine human flight when such a concept seemed preposterous. Their ability to envision what did not yet exist led to the creation of the airplane, forever changing the course of human history. This is the true power of imagination, the ability to conceive of something that does not yet exist in the physical world and bring it into being. But imagination is not reserved for the extraordinary or the world-changing. It is a force we all possess and use daily, often without realizing it. When you plan your day, visualize your goals, or even worry about potential outcomes, you are exercising your imagination. The question is not whether you use your imagination, but how consciously and effectively you wield this incredible tool. The relationship between imagination and reality is far more intimate than most people realize. Our physical world is but a reflection of our inner world, a manifestation of our collective imagination. The clothes you wear, the chair you sit on, the device you're using to watch this, all were once mere ideas in someone's mind before they became tangible realities. This principle extends far beyond material objects. Your current circumstances, your relationships, your successes and challenges, all have their roots in imagination. The life you're living now is, in many ways, the result of your past imaginings, both conscious and unconscious. Understanding this connection between imagination and reality is the first step toward harnessing it. When you truly grasp that your imagination is not separate from reality, but is, in fact, the very substance from which reality is formed, you begin to approach life with a new sense of possibility and responsibility. Think of your imagination as a garden. The seeds you plant, your thoughts, beliefs, and mental images will inevitably grow into the flowers or weeds of your life experience. This garden doesn't discriminate. It will nurture whatever you plant. Therefore, it becomes crucial to be mindful of what you are cultivating in this fertile soil of your mind. History is replete with examples of individuals who understood and applied this principle to great effect. Take Thomas Edison, for instance. When working on the light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's unwavering belief in his vision, his ability to hold the image of a working light bulb in his mind despite repeated setbacks, eventually led to one of the most transformative inventions in human history. Or consider the civil rights movement led by Martin Luther King Jr. His powerful "I Have a Dream" speech was a masterful use of imagination. By vividly describing a future of racial equality and harmony, King not only inspired millions but also set in motion the very changes he envisioned. His imagination became a catalyst for social transformation. These examples illustrate a fundamental truth. The power of imagination is not confined to the realm of individual achievement. It has the potential to shape entire societies and alter the course of history. When a collective imagination takes hold, it can move mountains, bridge divides, but how does this grand-scale application of imagination relate to our everyday lives? The principle remains the same. Whether you're envisioning world peace or a successful job interview, your imagination is constantly at work, shaping your perception of the world and influencing your actions. Consider your daily interactions. How often do you anticipate conversations or rehearse scenarios in your mind? This is your imagination at play, and it significantly impacts the outcomes of these interactions. If you consistently imagine difficult or confrontational exchanges, you are more likely to experience them. Conversely, if you envision smooth, positive interactions, you're setting the stage for more harmonious relationships. This principle extends to every aspect of your life. Your health, your career, your relationships, All are influenced by the images you hold in your mind. If you habitually imagine yourself as sickly or weak, your body often conforms to this image. If you see yourself as capable and strong, you're more likely to take actions that reinforce this self-image. The power of imagination in shaping our life is not a new concept. Throughout history, great thinkers and leaders have recognized and harnessed this force. The ancient Greeks spoke of the daemon, a guiding spirit that whispers ideas and inspires people. In many spiritual traditions, the act of creation is often described as a divine thought or word bringing reality into being. Modern psychology and neuroscience are now catching up to what mystics and philosophers have long known. Studies have shown that the brain doesn't significantly differentiate between real experiences and vividly imagined ones. When you imagine an action, the same neural pathways are activated as when you actually perform that action. This is why visualization techniques are so effective in fields ranging from sports to medicine. However, it's crucial to understand that imagination alone is not enough. It must be coupled with belief and action. Imagine a seed planted in soil. The seed represents your imaginative idea, but it needs the nurturing elements of belief, water, and action to grow into reality. Belief is the bridge between imagination and reality. Without belief, even the most vivid imaginations remain mere fantasies. It's the conviction that what you're imagining is possible, even inevitable. That gives your mental images their power. This is why faith has always been emphasized by great achievers and spiritual teachers alike. Action, on the other hand, is the physical counterpart to your mental work. While imagination sets the direction, action is the vehicle that takes you there. The most powerful use of imagination involves a harmonious blend of mental imagery, unwavering belief, and inspired action. As we delve deeper into the power of imagination, it's important to address a common misconception. Some may argue that focusing on imagination means denying or escaping from current reality. Nothing could be further from the truth. Effective use of imagination requires a clear understanding of your present circumstances. It's about seeing reality as it is, not as you fear it to be, and then using your imaginative powers to envision and create something better. This brings us to an essential aspect of imagination, its role in problem solving and innovation. When faced with challenges, your imagination becomes your greatest ally. It allows you to see beyond the apparent limitations of a situation and conceive of novel solutions. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest scientific minds in history, emphasized the importance of imagination in his work. He famously said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, whereas imagination embraces the entire world, stimulating progress, giving birth to evolution." Einstein's words remind us that imagination is not the opposite of rational thought or scientific inquiry. Rather, it's the spark that ignites new avenues of exploration and pushes the boundaries of what we believe to be possible. In your own life, often have you found yourself stuck, unable to see a way forward? In such moments, engaging your imagination can be transformative. By allowing yourself to envision alternative scenarios and outcomes, you open up new possibilities that may not have been apparent before. This creative problem-solving aspect of imagination is not limited to grand scientific discoveries or artistic masterpieces. It's a tool you can apply to everyday challenges, from figuring out how to manage your time more effectively to improving your relationship. As we continue to explore the power of imagination, it's important to acknowledge that, like any tool, it can be used constructively or destructively. The same imaginative faculty that can envision solutions and create beauty can also conjure fears and perpetuate limiting beliefs. Many of us have experienced the negative side of imagination, the tendency to catastrophize, to imagine worst-case scenarios that rarely come to pass. This misuse of imagination can lead to anxiety, stress, and self-imposed limitations. The key is to become aware of how you're using your imagination and to consciously direct it towards positive, constructive ends. This doesn't mean ignoring potential challenges or difficulties. Rather, it's about approaching these situations with a solution-oriented mindset, using your imagination to conceive of positive outcomes and strategies for achieving them. Developing this level of mental discipline takes practice, but the rewards As you learn to harness your imagination effectively, you find yourself becoming more resilient in the face of challenges, more creative in your problem solving, and more empowered in shaping your life circumstances. Remember, your imagination is not just a mental faculty. It's a creative force that's constantly shaping your experience of reality. Every thought, every mental image is like a brushstroke on the canvas of your life. By becoming more conscious of this process, you can begin to paint the masterpiece of your choosing. As we transition to exploring specific techniques for harnessing your imagination, keep in mind that this is not about learning a new skill. You've been using your imagination your entire life. What we are doing is refining and focusing this innate ability, learning to use it with greater intention and effectiveness. The power of imagination is your birthright, a gift that sets humanity apart from the natural world. It's the source of our greatest achievements and the seed of our potential. As you continue to explore and develop this power within yourself, remember that you're not just changing your own life, you're contributing to the collective imagination that shapes our shared reality. In the words of George Bernard Shaw, imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. As we move forward, let's explore how to put this profound truth into practice, transforming the landscapes of our minds and, by extension, the very fabric of our lives. Having established the profound impact of imagination on our lives, we now turn our attention to the practical application of this extraordinary faculty. How can we effectively harness the power of our imagination to create the life we desire? This question lies at the heart of personal transformation and achievement. The first and perhaps most crucial technique in mastering your imagination is visualization. This practice involves creating vivid, detailed mental images of what you experience or achieve. It's not merely about seeing these images, but fully immersing yourself in them, engaging all your senses to make the experience as real as possible in your mind. When you visualize, you're essentially providing your subconscious mind with a blueprint for reality. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what's vividly imagined and what's actually experienced. By consistent feeding it images of your desired reality, you're programming it to seek out and create those experiences in your physical world. To practice visualization effectively, find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and begin to build a mental picture of your goal or desired outcome. See it in as much detail as possible. What does it look like? What sounds represent? What can you smell or taste? How does it feel emotionally and physically to have achieved this goal? For instance, if your goal is to become a successful public speaker, visualize yourself standing confidently on a stage. See the attentive audience before you. Hear the sound of applause. Feel the surge of excitement and accomplishment. The more real you can make this experience in your mind, the more powerful its effect will be. It's important to practice visualization regularly, ideally daily. Consistency is key in reprogramming your subconscious mind and aligning your thoughts and actions with your goals. Many successful individuals, from Olympic athletes to business leaders, attribute much of their success to consistent visualization practices. However, visualization alone is not enough. To truly harness the power of your imagination, you must learn to feel the reality of your imagined scene. This technique, often referred to as feeling it real, is about engaging your emotions in your imaginative process. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imagination. When you combine vivid mental imagery with genuine emotion, you create a potent force for manifestation. This is because your emotional state sends powerful signals to your subconscious mind and to the world around you. To practice feeding it real as you visualize your desired outcome, allow yourself to experience the emotions associated with having already achieved your goal. If your goal is financial abundance, for example, feel a sense of security, freedom and joy that comes with it. If it's a loving relationship you desire, allow yourself to feel the warmth, connection, and happiness of being in that relationship. The key is to make these feelings as authentic as possible. Your body and subconscious mind should respond as if what you're imagining is happening right now. This might feel challenging at first, especially if your current reality seems far removed from your goal. But with practice, you'll find it becomes easier to generate these emotional states at will. Remember, the aim is not to deny your current reality, but to create a new inner reality that will eventually manifest externally. By consistently feeling the reality of your desires, you're aligning your entire being, thoughts, emotions, and actions with your goals. Another powerful technique for harnessing your imagination is the use of affirmations and self-talk. The words we use, both in our internal dialogue and our speech, have a profound impact on our subconscious mind and, consequently, on our reality. Affirmations are positive statements that describe your desired reality as if it's already true. They're a way of using language to shape your thoughts and beliefs. When crafted effectively and used consistently, affirmations can help rewire your subconscious mind, overcoming limiting beliefs and aligning your thoughts with your goals. To create effective affirmations, state your desires in the present tense, as if they're already true. Instead of saying, I will be successful, say, I am successful. Use positive language, focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want. Make your action specific and personal. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, you might use affirmations like, I am vibrant and full of energy, or my body is strong and healthy. Repeat these affirmations to yourself regularly, especially upon waking and before sleeping, when your subconscious mind is most receptive. It's crucial to infuse your affirmation with feeling. Don't just robotically repeat the words. Feel the truth of them as you say them. This emotional engagement amplifies the power of your affirmations, making them more impactful on your subconscious mind. Equally important is being mindful about your everyday self-talk. The casual comments you make about yourself and your life, the inner dialogue that runs through your mind throughout the day, all of this is programming your subconscious and shaping your reality. Pay attention to your habitual thought pattern and the language you use. Are you constantly criticizing yourself? Do you often focus on what could go wrong? These negative thought patterns can limit your imagination and hinder your progress. Make a conscious effort to shift your self-talk in a positive direction. When you catch yourself in negative self-talk, pause and reframe your thoughts. Instead of I can't do this, try I'm learning and improving every day. Instead of this always happens to me, consider this an opportunity for growth. This practice of mindful self-talk extends beyond just your thoughts about yourself. It includes how you perceive and describe the world around you. Train yourself to look for the positive aspects in every situation, to see opportunities where others might see obstacles. This positive outlook will naturally expand your imagination, opening your mind to new possibilities and solutions. As you work with these techniques, visualization, feeding it real, affirmations, and positive self-talk, you may encounter doubts or resistance. This is natural. Your current beliefs and thought patterns have been ingrained over many years, and changing them requires persistence and faith. Persistence is crucial in harnessing your imagination. The new reality you're creating in your mind may not manifest overnight. It takes time for your subconscious mind to fully accept new beliefs and for your outer world to reflect these inner changes. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Keep practicing, keep imagining, keep feeling the reality of your desire. Faith goes hand in hand with persistence. You must cultivate an unwavering belief in the power of your imagination and in your ability to create the reality you desire. This faith is not blind optimism, but a deep knowing that what you're imagining is not only possible but inevitable. To strengthen your faith, look for evidence of your imagination at work in your life. Notice the small changes, the synchronicities, the opportunities that begin to appear as you consistently apply these techniques. Each of these is a confirmation of the power of your imagination. It's also helpful to study the lives of individuals who have achieved great things through the power of imagination. Their stories can inspire you and reinforce your faith in what's possible. From inventors to artists, from entrepreneurs to spiritual leaders, history is full of examples of people who have used their imagination to create extraordinary realities. As you continue to work with these techniques, you'll likely find that your imagination becomes more vivid and controllable. You may experience moments of profound clarity, where your imagined reality feels more real than your physical surroundings. These experiences are powerful and can be transformative. However, it's important to maintain a balance. While immersing yourself in your imagined reality is crucial for manifestation, you must also stay grounded and take inspired action in your physical world. Your imagination sets the direction, but your actions are the vehicle that moves you towards your goals. This brings us to an essential point: the harmonious relationship between imagination and action. Your imaginative work creates a magnetic pull towards your desires that you must be willing to move when opportunities present themselves. Often, these opportunities may not look exactly as you imagined, but they're stepping stones towards your ultimate goal. Be open and alert to the ways in which your reality begins to shift. Perhaps you'll find yourself having conversations related to your goal, or you'll come across information that's relevant to your desires. See, these are signs that your imagination is influencing your reality. Recognize them and take appropriate action. Moreover, allow your imagination to guide your actions. As you consistently visualize and feel your desired reality, you'll find yourself naturally inspired to take steps toward your goal. You might feel compelled to learn a new skill, reach out to someone, or make changes in your lifestyle. Trust these indicators. They are your imagination working through you to create your new reality. Remember, the techniques we've discussed: visualization, feeling it real, affirmations, and positive self-talk, they are not separate from your daily life. They're tools to be integrated into your everyday experience. As you master these techniques, you will find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. You'll start to see the world not as a fixed, unchangeable entity, but as a malleable reflection of consciousness. You'll recognize that every person, every object, every circumstance in your life will want someone's imagination. This realization is empowering, as it places the power to shape your reality squarely in your hand. As we conclude this exploration of techniques for harnessing our imagination, it's important to emphasize that this is an ongoing process. Your imagination is a muscle that strengthens with use. The more you engage in these practices, the more natural and effortless they are. You're embarking on a journey of conscious creation, of actively participating in shaping your reality, rather than passively accepting what comes your way. It's a journey that requires courage, persistence, and faith, but the rewards are beyond measure. In the next part of our discussion, we'll explore how to apply these techniques to various aspects of your life, from your career to your relationships to your personal growth. We'll look at practical ways to live from the end, to inhabit the state of your fulfilled desires in your imagination until they manifest in your physical reality. As we transition, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. Consider how you can begin incorporating these techniques into your daily life. Remember, the power to shape your reality lies within you, in the extraordinary faculty of your imagination. It's time to claim that power and use it consciously and deliberately to create the life you truly desire. What would your life look like if you had already achieved your deepest desires? How would you think, feel, and act if you were living your ideal life right now? These questions form the foundation of a powerful concept known as living from the end. Living from the end is the practice of fully embodying the state of your fulfilled desires in your imagination, to such an extent that it begins to feel more real than your current circumstances. It's about inhabiting the consciousness of your ideal self, not as a future possibility, but as a present reality. This concept builds upon the techniques we already explored: visualization, feeling it real, affirmations, and positive self-talk. However, living from the end takes these practices a step further. Instead of merely visualizing your desires for a set period each day, you strive to maintain this state of fulfillment continuously, infusing every aspect of your life with the energy of your realized dreams. To begin applying this principle, start by clearly defining your ideal self in circumstances. Who are you at your best? What does your perfect day look like? How do you carry yourself? What kind of relationships do you have? What work do you do? Be as specific and detailed as possible in crafting this vision. Once you have a clear picture, Your task is to step into this version of yourself mentally and emotionally. This doesn't mean pretending or play acting. It's about shifting your inner state to align with your desire. If your goal is to be a successful entrepreneur, for example, begin to think, feel, and act as that successful entrepreneur would right now. This practice requires a significant shift in perspective. Instead of seeing your desires as something to be achieved in the future, you recognize them as already existing in the present moment, within your consciousness. Your outer world may not yet reflect this reality, but in your inner world, it's already true. As you adopt this mindset, you'll find that your thoughts, emotions, and actions naturally begin to align with your desire. You make decisions from the perspective of your ideal self. You react to situations as your ideal self-worth. This alignment creates a powerful magnetic pull, drawing experiences and opportunities that match your new state of being. However, living from the end isn't always easy. You will likely encounter resistance both from your own habitual thought patterns and from your current circumstances. Doubts may arise, challenging your ability to maintain this new state of consciousness. This is where the real work begins. Overcoming doubts and limiting beliefs is a crucial part of living from the end. These doubts and beliefs are often deeply ingrained, formed by past experiences and societal conditioning. They can manifest as that nagging inner voice that says, "This isn't possible for you," or "Who do you think you are to want this?" The key to overcoming these doubts is to recognize them for what they are: thoughts, not facts. When doubts arise, acknowledge them without judgment, then gently return your focus to your desired state. Remember, your aim is not to fight against or suppress these thoughts, but to consistently choose your new state of consciousness over your old patterns of thinking. One effective technique for dealing with doubts is to engage in a dialogue with them. When a limiting belief surfaces, ask yourself, is this absolutely true? Can I be certain that this thought is a fact? More often than not, you'll find that these beliefs are based on past experiences or fear, not on present reality. Another powerful approach is to reframe these doubts as opportunities for growth. Each time you choose your desired state over a limiting belief, you're strengthening your new self-concept. You're proving to yourself that you have the power to shape your consciousness and, by extension, as you continue to live from the end, you'll find that maintaining your desired state becomes easier and more natural. What once felt like a stretch of the imagination begins to feel like your new normal. This is a sign that your subconscious mind is accepting your new self-concept, paving the way for external changes to manifest. Now let's explore how to apply this principle of living from the end to various aspects of your life. We'll start with your career or professional life, as this is often an area where people have significant goals and desires. If you're seeking career advancement or success in your business, begin by clearly defining what success looks like to you. Is it a specific position, a certain level of income, the impact you want to make in your field? Once you have a clear vision, step into the consciousness of having already achieved this success. How does this successful version of you approach their work? What kind of decisions do they make? How do they interact with colleagues or clients? Begin to embody these qualities in your current work situation. If you're aiming for a leadership position, for example, start taking on more responsibility, offering innovative ideas, and mentoring others even if it's not officially part of your current role. Remember, you're not pretending or deceiving anyone. You're aligning your current actions with your desired future, creating congruence between your inner and outer worlds. This alignment not only makes you more likely to be considered for advancement, but also prepares you to step confidently into new opportunities when they arise. In the realm of relationships, living from the end can be transformative. Whether you're seeking to improve existing relationships or attract new ones, the principle remains the same. Begin by clearly defining the kind of relationships you desire. What qualities do they possess? How do you feel in these relationships? Now, embody the version of yourself that already has these fulfilling relationships. How does this version of you communicate? How do they give and receive love? How do they handle conflicts or disagreements? Start interacting with others from this place of fulfillment and love. rather than from a place of lack or need. This shift in consciousness can have a profound impact on your relationships. As you begin to embody the qualities you seek in others, be it love, respect, understanding, or support, you'll naturally attract and cultivate relationships that mirror these qualities. When it comes to personal growth and self-improvement, living from the end is particularly powerful. Instead of seeing yourself as someone who needs to change or improve, step into the consciousness of your ideal self. This doesn't mean denying areas where you want to grow, but rather approaching your growth from a place of self-love and acceptance. If your goal is to develop more confidence, for example, begin to embody the energy of a confident person now. How does a confident person carry themselves? How do they speak? How do they handle challenges? As you consistently choose this state of confidence, you'll find that genuine confidence naturally grows within you. Health and well-being are also areas where living from the end can yield significant results. If you're working towards improved health, step into the consciousness of your healthiest self. How does this version of you treat their body? What kind of food do they choose? How do they approach exercise and rest? Begin making choices from this state of vibrant health. You'll likely find that healthy habits become more natural and enjoyable, rather than feeling like a chore or a sacrifice. Your body will respond to this new consciousness, supporting your journey towards optimal health. As you apply the principle of living from the end to these various aspects of your life, you may encounter situations where your external reality seems to contradict your inner state. This is where faith and persistence become crucial. Remember, your current circumstances are the result of past thoughts and beliefs. Your new state of consciousness is creating a new reality, but it may take time for this to fully manifest in your outer world. During this period of transition, it's important to maintain your new state regardless of external evidence. This doesn't mean denying or ignoring your current circumstances, but rather choosing to focus on and live from your desired state, despite them. This unwavering focus is what bridges the gap between your inner and outer world. One powerful practice to support you during this time is to cultivate a state of gratitude. Gratitude aligns you with the frequency of abundance and fulfillment, reinforcing your desired state. Begin to appreciate and give thanks for your desires as if they're already fulfilled. This isn't about pretending, but about recognizing that everything you desire already exists in consciousness. As you consistently live from the end, you'll likely start noticing changes in your external world. These might begin as small synchronicities or coincidences that align with your desires. Pay attention to these signs and acknowledge them as confirmation that your new state is taking effect. You might also notice changes in how others respond to you. As you embody your ideal self, people will unconsciously pick up on this shift and interact with you differently. This, too, is a sign that your inner transformation is radiating outward. It's important to remain open and receptive to how your desires manifest. Sometimes, the path to your goal may look different than you initially imagined. Trust the process and remain flexible, knowing that your consistent inner work is guiding you towards the fulfillment of your desires, even if the journey takes unexpected turns. Living from the end is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It's about consistently choosing to inhabit your desired state, moment by moment, day by day. This requires mindfulness and conscious choice, especially in the beginning. Over time, however, it becomes more natural and effortless. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your entire perception of reality begins to shift. You'll start to recognize the fluid, malleable nature of your experience. You'll see how your consciousness shapes your reality and how by changing your inner world, you can transform your outer world. This realization is profoundly empowering. It places the power to shape your life squarely in your hands. No longer are you at the mercy of external circumstances or past conditioning. You become the conscious creator of your experience, the author of your life story. Living from the end is ultimately about aligning with your highest potential. It's about recognizing that the person you aspire to be, the life you desire to live, is not some distant possibility, but a present reality within your consciousness. By consistently embodying this truth, you allow it to unfold in your physical experience. As we conclude this exploration of imagination and its application in your life, take a moment to reflect on the journey we've taken. From understanding the power of imagination to learning techniques for harnessing it, and finally to applying it through living from the end, you'll be introduced to a profound method for personal transformation and conscious creation. Remember, the power to shape your reality lies within you. It always has. Your imagination is the tool, your consciousness is the medium, and your life is the canvas. The masterpiece you create is limited only by your willingness to imagine and your courage to live from that imagination. As you move forward from here, carry with you the knowledge that every great achievement, every beautiful creation, every positive change in the world began as a seed in someone's imagination. Your dreams, your visions, your deepest desires are not mere fantasies. They are the blueprints of your future reality. Step boldly into the consciousness of your fulfilled desires. Live from the end. Allow your imagination to guide you towards the realization of your highest potential. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that step is taken first in your mind. Your new life awaits. It begins now, in this moment, with the power of your imagination.